Welcome, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the second episode of the Benched Press here with Carl Dewberry and
Aaron Brutal Poodle. Welcome, fellow dick doggers.
and, of course, Nathan Tomo, the producer over there. So as customary, we're going to go straight into what we're drinking right now. First and foremost, the first beer of the night is going to be Citricado IPA, the 20th anniversary Stone. What do you think, Aaron?
I think it's awesome. I think it tricks you a little bit. It's super complex. Well, I'd say that a lot. I know I say everything. But most of these beers are going to be. But,
Right, we don't go super simple.
No. Mm-hmm. But on the front, it's so light and it's so nice. And then all of a sudden,
punch by hops.
Punch right in the back of the throat. Throat punch. Ever heard of a donkey punch?
And Tomo hit it on the head before we got on air that it's pretty citrusy. It is called Citricado. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. Yeah, no avocados. Just a little bit from Beer Advocate. Citricado also teases the two ingredients of this beer. Citra refers to both the juicy gem of a hop and its citrusy and tropical aromas and flavors. Cado inspired us to utilize wonderful... Oh! There is avocados in it!
Shut your face. I was like,
yeah.
He's like, oh! They roosted this beer before
native avocado flower honey. Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what you get for being funny, right?
It's agave. No, I was about to say something stupid. I was going to say agave.
No. Avocado nectar, I guess you could say.
I'm going to try that with some tequila.
9% alcohol, this one. Very good. It's only going to be around for a little while. You can still get it at your local liquor store of choice, I guess. So that was Citricado IPA, the 20th anniversary Stone edition.
And that's in our right hand. In our left hand is a nice
Moscow
Mule, where Carl found a smoking deal for all you Costco shoppers out there. $20, a bottle of Stoli.
A handle of Stoli.
4 ginger beers, in 2 copper mugs. Which those mugs are about $15, $20 a piece anyway. Smoking deal. Carl, good find. I'm proud of you, bud.
A bunch of my friends are going to be getting that for Christmas, I can assure you. Well, that's it for the beer. We're going to move straight into the elephant in the room.
My dick.
Which is the Thursday night football game. My Broncos versus Aaron's Chargers. And before we go off, I'm just going to rattle off some of the stats going into this game. The Chargers were 0-10 in their last 10 division games. They had lost their last 10 division games straight because this year they had lost to the Chiefs and the Raiders. And we were on a NFL record 15-game road division winning streak, something stupid, something that just sets us up for failure when you get those kind of stats. And last but not least, of course, on the way over here, we heard on the radio that the Chargers.
You have a better chance of getting hit by an airplane walking through a park than you do losing the games that we lost this year, basically.
Two of their 4 losses were 99.9% guaranteed wins.
Yep.
And the chance of them losing all 4 of the games that they lost combined were 30 million to 1.
Which we tried really fucking hard to do the same thing tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we'll just get straight into the analysis here. We look like dick dog in a bad way in the first half. We had 48 total yards.
Defense still looked good the whole game, though.
Yeah, defense.
Phillip had his one really, really good drive, and then the rest of it.
You had 2. Your first opening drive was great, and then the second drive after we 3-and-outed, I think, was a 10-minute drive, the longest of Phillip Rivers' career, which does not happen to us. And then after that, for some reason, we locked it down.
Well, we still only scored 1 touchdown.
Right.
So
Right. But our offense put us into bad position after bad position in the first half. And then the second half came out, and the Chargers looked like they were already playing Please Don't Beat Me. They
Which
were
we do.
giving up a lot of draws and a lot of screens, which the Broncos saved you guys by committing a ton of penalties and bringing those back. And then we had a missed field goal. We had a holding call in the end zone for a safety. We did what you guys do.
exactly.
To lose the
but
game.
we also did what other teams have been doing to beat us and making that big play, that
Right.
big hit to make someone fumble a ball. Doing those things, and we did, which we haven't been doing those lately. We just haven't at all. Yes, we still, gave up the onside kick, which that hurts, but overall, like, we saw it coming again, and we were able to stop it. So for me, that was a big W on top of the W, which was nice.
Right.
But I mean, I probably had 4 texts saying, "Hey, bro, how you guys gonna fuck it up this time?"
Right. Yeah, I could audibly hear your butthole pucker when that onside kick happens. I mean, it was
And
like,
it sounds like
so plus and minuses real quick. Since they're both of our teams, we'll do that to wrap it up. Plus and minuses for the Chargers.
Bosa, another super solid game. The dude, the kid's a stud.
Tons of QB rushes, even if he didn't have the sack numbers. Lots of tackles right at the scrimmage for running backs and such.
Super happy with him. Another dude, Henry. Our
Right,
rookies, man, are coming
right.
in, and this is
Hunter
I
Henry
think,
making people forget about Gates already.
4 straight games with a TD, and he's just a red zone.
Man, that makes me realize, like, I am really not active enough in the first 4 weeks on my waiver wire. Like, I just don't. I'm so happy with my team that I don't get out there and snag some of those winners.
I've been preaching to people about Henry, about picking him up, and like with him,
Well,
him
if you
and
don't own
Gordon,
him, it's too late. It's too late if you don't own him.
Oh, yeah,
He's
if
already
you
put
don't.
up the touchdown numbers,
Yeah.
and he's been getting catches. So,
and then Melvin, another super solid game for him. Who like
so he had that 48-yard scamper. But before that, he had like 13 rushes for
Yeah.
like 20 yards.
Yeah,
Like it pretty much seemed like the Broncos sold out on stopping your run, and that
Yeah.
hurt us.
well, we have a lot of injuries in our wide receiver core, and they know that too.
Right.
We have no Keenan, we have Travis Benjamin, and young guys that don't really know what they're doing. But with Henry out there, Phillip, he loves that tight end, man.
Mm-hmm.
He loves that tight end, and he loves that speedy little H-back who we
Right.
have in McCluster. That's why we got McCluster.
He still doesn't get the touches on offense, but I like seeing him in the return game late after Travis Benjamin had the fumbled punt.
I love it.
Yeah, he definitely did well. He just has to build up that trust with Phillip in order to get the the third down touches.
And he's such a trust quarterback.
He is.
Like, if you have one big game, like, he's going to go back to you the next game. Like, that's
Hey,
just how he is.
I got a plus for you. As a Broncos fan watching this and watching your defense stifle us for 3 quarters,
Yes. Physical.
they were so close to every option that we had out there. They were so your 2 starting cornerbacks weren't playing, yet you guys were always there at the
and
at
our
the
starting
point.
inside linebacker. Our
Right.
defense is
Yeah,
torn
your
up.
captain,
And those,
Manti Te'o.
yeah.
Yeah. So you guys flying to the football, no yards after catch until the end when you were playing back and we broke some tackles.
And ferocious hits.
Right.
Ferocious hits. Which, I mean, with the offense that we have, we need a turnover offense.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in bad places. We don't need someone that's going to only make you score 14 points, but they're not going to get any turnovers. We need that defense that's going to go out there and make plays. And yeah, we're going to give up some big plays. It's going to happen. It's a young defense too. But yeah, I was super proud of our defense, and not that we were going up against a great offense,
Right.
but
So, real quick, pluses and minuses for me. Not a whole lot of pluses. We did come back in the second half, and Simeon, he didn't throw an interception. He didn't fumble it. He always looks good in the pocket. there was just a little too much pressure on him today.
Looked
And
great in the end of the game. Though.
Right. You guys were on top of our targets, so there was not an easy place for him to go. We got to start running the ball better. I'm upset as a fantasy owner of C.J. Anderson that Devontae Booker is getting so many touches now, but he broke open a couple. C.J. had 3 15-plus yard plays taken back, including that late touchdown.
I don't
so
know
that's
when
irritating.
are you guys just gonna say, because this happens to him every fucking time, is he starts really producing and then you handcuff him. When are you guys just gonna be like, yo, CJ, because he's an animal.
Right.
Like, hey, bro, this is your job. This is what you do. We're giving you the rock all game.
Well, we paid him, and then we brought in Devontae Booker, which was probably the second most talented back besides Zeke in the draft.
He looks great.
Still, no excuse. I want to give CJ that rock, and I want to give him the chance. He did a lot of work in the offseason, and I agree with you. I want to see him touching the ball more. Our minuses, tons of penalties, tons of plays called back, tons of, a touchdown called back, a safety called in the end zone because of a holding penalty. It's just ridiculous. So
Sanders getting hurt's a big one too.
Sanders getting hurt. Demarius
Showed a
still
lot
diving.
of heart though. He came
Yeah.
back. He was running up that sideline trying to get stretched out.
Demarius is still dealing with a hip injury. At the end of the day, I still feel like we'll be an AFC playoff team and a contender and most likely win the division. I think we're a little bit more even than teams like San Diego and Kansas City.
And I don't think,
Oakland is who I meant to say because they're all offense and their defense hasn't showed up yet.
And I don't think you can look at this loss and be like, yo, you guys lost to a 1-4 team.
No, I don't think so either.
No, because we're
Right.
easily a 5-0 team. We are definitely better than any other team in the division besides you guys. I will give you that. But I wouldn't chalk this up like, oh, that's a bad loss. No, you didn't lose to a 4-1 team.
It's somebody we see twice a year. Philip Rivers sees us all the time. Mike McCoy is our ex-offensive coordinator. And our Kubiak was out, which we haven't mentioned yet, but he's out. And our special teams coordinator was head coaching for us tonight.
Yeah. And this is a team that has dismantled everyone they played until the last 5 minutes of a game.
Right.
So it's a good loss if you're going to have a loss.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But so do we want to move on?
Yeah. We'll move on to the rest of the NFL so that people don't sit here and listen to us chat about our teams the whole time.
Yeah, because that can happen for
Right,
quite a
definitely.
while.
So we'll go around the league. We'll take some pick'ems, and then we might chat a little bit about
Let's
each
do
game
it.
if it's interesting to us. All right. First game, Eagles-Redskins.
Not super intrigued.
Who you got?
Eagles.
I got Eagles too. I bet against their defense already once. I'm not going to. I bet against Wentz when he shut down Pittsburgh, so I promised I wasn't going to count him out again. Kirk Cousins has some amazing numbers against the Eagles. He has like over 350 yards. I think in their last meeting he had like 396. But I just don't see that happening, especially with Jordan Reed in concussion protocol this week.
Mm-hmm.
So both taking the Eagles there.
For me on that too, like the Eagles are not a team that just have that one, like a Dez Bryant or one of those guys that they really, really feed off of. So it's not like Norman's going to come in and shut your number one
Everybody's
guy down.
contributing.
Everyone's contributing. So, like,
Right.
It's great to have that star lockdown cornerback.
Sproles had that game. Ryan Matthews can get the ball and still do it.
They have guys that could do it.
You
so
know
yes,
about Ryan Matthews.
What are we talking about?
He used to be your running back.
Oh, I thought you were like something happened with him. I'm
No,
like,
no,
what?
no.
Oh, yeah, he's a stud when he's healthy. If you can say healthy, he's a
Right.
Pro Bowler.
All right, moving on. Steelers-Dolphins.
Doesn't intrigue me at all.
Steelers, easy.
Steelers.
Yeah, Miami's
That
look like shit.
offense, man. Le'Veon Bell is the second coming of LaDainian Thomas, and that dude, I haven't been excited to see a running back play since him.
Lining up in the slot receiver position for
He's
them for like
amazing.
5 to 10 plays last week. That's insane. I mean, when you have a backup like D'Angelo, why not?
I
You
know,
know what I mean?
and your backup's D'Angelo, who's
Right.
a merc. Yeah.
I did read an article about the offensive line for the Dolphins and how it's basically going to be together for the first time this week. in positions that they're meant to be in, healthy.
That's great, but you still have
Pro Bowler Mike Pouncey is going to be back. Arian Foster is probably going to be back. That really can change the game for a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill. And I'm not saying they're going to beat the Steelers.
But that's my problem, and it's still Ryan Tannehill behind center. That's my issue.
Well,
and they paid him a fuck ton of money.
Not that much, did they?
They fucking $100 million like 5 years, bro.
Okay, moving on. These ones are easy. Jaguars, Bears. This is kind of a toss-up.
Jags.
You think so?
Dude, Hearns is an animal.
Yeah, but they really haven't.
Is Ivory back?
In and out, I think. He's on the waiver wire. He's up there. I don't think he's questionable anymore, but he's still there. I mean, you might have a choice in the goal line. You got both the Allens, Hearns and Robinson.
And their defense looks really good at times. Like, they went out and paid a bunch of money for that front four.
Malik Jefferson.
And Malik Jefferson, and then they got
Jackson?
their rookie, their first pick from last year came back this year, and he's killing it.
They just can't put it together. They're still 1-3. And
they're a young team, and
last year they put up fantasy numbers. They were a fantasy darling because they had garbage time.
Yeah.
This year they're not putting it together in garbage time either. I mean,
they looked real. I mean, they looked great against Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, Blake Bortles. Was that the first game of the season though?
Yeah,
that was the first game of the season.
Yeah, but they're that team that's.
Blake Bortles has a delivery that's looking like Tim Tebow right now. He's taking way too long. He's coming like full circle.
Yeah, well, when you're young like that, a lot of it has to do with confidence
and for the Bears, Hoyer playing like a boss. I wouldn't bring Cutler back.
That's Hoyer's MO.
Yeah.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
When he
Pro
came
Bowl
in,
season. Pro Bowl season in Cleveland.
Killed it. And then that hit. Oh man, if we had visual right now, I'd bring that up. That took him out. That hit he took. Woo.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Jaguars here just because I think I want to see them get back on track. I got a couple bets relying on that.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
I like Howard and I like Hoyer and I like Zach Miller. So we'll see what happens there. That's a toss-up. Browns, Titans.
Titans.
I think I have to go Titans here just because of the Browns situation, but this could be one of those games. This could be a trap game.
I think Titans. The problem with the Titans is Mariota needs someone else to throw it to besides Delaney Walker.
And I mean Tajay Sharp. He's not reeling them in like he was supposed to. DeMarco Murray, though, killing it. Bengals, Patriots. Anybody not have the Patriots in this game?
You have to the
Patriots.
Tom Brady looks pissed the fuck off.
Right. We don't even need to go over this one. Patriots all the way. Eifert is still not back. Right when his ankle was looking healthy, he injured his back, and so he's still out for a second.
And I don't think that Dalton is completely overrated, but I think the season he had last year isn't so. I think he's always going to be a good quarterback, but I don't think he's gonna be that guy every year.
Well, two things happened. He lost Marvin Jones to the Lions, who's doing a good job as Matthew Stafford's number one, and then he lost Mohamed Sanu to the Falcons. So he's dealing with A.J. Green only, a rookie in Boyd.
I wish I could deal with A.J. Green only.
Right. But if Eifert came back, he would have somebody over the middle and short.
Absolutely. It's a big hit.
Yeah. 49ers, Bills.
Bills. 100%. To me, that might be the easiest pick.
Really?
Yeah. Colin's starting, right?
Kaepernick's first start. Yeah.
I saw this meme. They said that since he takes a knee, they're going to play the national anthem every time he goes to hike the ball. I thought that was pretty funny.
That is pretty good. No, I honestly hope to see Colin do good. I like Colin a lot. I don't know, man. Did you know he went vegan? Colin Kaepernick. He went vegan a year ago. That's why it's really tough for him to put on weight and be back to his normal physical, ready for football self.
I don't know. That's weird. Like, because Nate Diaz, one of the most popular UFC, he's vegan, which a lot of people don't know.
Right.
And he's known for his cardio.
Well,
It's
maybe,
just
maybe,
disgusting. Maybe
well,
muscle mass it's a little bit harder, but
maybe he's spending too much time on a knee then.
good point, my friend.
No. So
Get him on 2 knees.
And there's too many questions for the 49ers. I'm also going to go with the Bills.
And the Bills are good,
They've
though.
won
That's
3
the thing.
games in a row. I mean, I'm not going to say they've got a
They're-
great offense. Sammy Watkins is out, but they have LaShawn McCoy. They have Robert Woods and Charles Clay. So
And they have Pryor. So,
Pryor.
I mean, correct me.
It's Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod
Tyrod
Taylor.
Okay, next. Ravens Giants. This might be the hardest one for me.
Ravens, just because I fucking hate Eli Manning.
Yeah,
But I think
so
Giants will probably win. Giants will win.
They're
I
in
think.
they're in the new Meadowlands. I think with Terrence West running the ball and Kenneth Dixon getting healthier and healthier, I think I like the Ravens. They won their first
West
3
has looked
games.
Really good.
And I'm like you. I really don't like the Giants.
I really don't.
Personally and from a football standpoint. I mean, they just don't have it together, it looks
But
like.
I don't think. And I also think that eventually
It is at the new Meadowlands.
Odell
though.
Beckham's gonna have to have a breakout game. He's gonna take this shit out on somebody.
Oh, yeah. That's
so
why
it's just he's a ticking time bomb.
he's the biggest buy low target in fantasy football right now because owners are frustrated and people are looking to snag him because he's going to have those games.
But he's gonna take off on someone, and it could be this week.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
All right. Rams Lions.
Lions.
Tomo, why do you think the Lions are gonna win, bud?
It's because of Matthew Stafford.
Who else is on the Lions?
Trayvon.
That's our producer, guys. He's really good looking, so he doesn't have to be smart about anything else.
Except for audio engineering.
Oh, and
Yeah.
audio engineering. I guess he's pretty good at that. Like the Lions, I like how they're moving on well from fucking Calvin, man, and they're finding new ways, and then they're getting.
They
down
still
the red
have that
zone.
offense. They still don't really have a great defense, but when you watch the Rams, you are watching a team straight out of the 1960s try and play fucking football.
and they're doing it though.
They're oh man, I don't know how they're.
Are they
doing it.
fun to watch? No, well,
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
I
They-
mean,
they-
for maybe someone like you, like I love like watching that defense. Aaron Donaldson, maybe one of the top 5 players in the game today. Like that team is. I mean, they're just.
And they got another typical quarterback right now, which you could say about 10 of them. Just don't lose the game. Case Keenum's he's completing short passes, but they're handing it off to Todd Gurley. The big difference for them this
I
year.
want Foles. I want
I know,
Foles.
right? I don't really understand where he fell from grace, but
He did, and it's Fisher's
Yeah.
whole ideology. Too big of a word for me to say, guys. But his whole thing is that he won't start a rookie quarterback. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't believe in throwing in the fire like that.
you mean Goff?
Yeah.
Jared Goff? You said Nick Foles.
I'm so fucking sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, so we're
long,
talking
long
about
day
Jared,
at work today.
Yeah, Jared Goff.
But Jared Goff, he doesn't like starting rookie quarterback. So
He
has-
looked god awful in preseason, though. I have no problem sitting him. He looked terrible. But and for you fantasy players, listen up. Todd Gurley last year, the reason why he was good is because he had the most breakaway runs for over 25 yards of any running back in the NFL. And this year, he's not breaking free. You can put 9 people in the box
And just
against
tune
this
up.
team and just
Which,
eliminate
how
him.
could you do that when you have a dude like Tavon, who they paid a silly amount of money, who has all the talent in the world, but really hasn't done much?
It's because they don't pass him the ball past the 3-yard line.
Yeah, I think like 80% of his passes last year were in front of the 5-yard line. He's like a screen master, and he doesn't really break them off though.
All right, we got a few games left. We're going to move on. Who you got, Rams or Lions?
Rams.
I got Lions. Okay, Panthers, Saints. Gosh, these are flips, man. Some of these.
I want it. Panthers are the same team. I just can't believe that Josh Norman is that big of a deal that they're gonna, be this bad this year. And Cam is another hit away from being done for the rest of the year. I don't know. I'm gonna have to say
In New
Saints.
Orleans.
I'm gonna take Saints.
Okay. I don't know if their offense can keep up the way it's going. Jonathan Stewart is supposed to be back this week, but I really don't think he's going to provide enough touches and enough of what he had last year. Last year was one of those solar flare seasons, late in your career where it's awesome and everybody who plays fantasy is happy.
Yeah, over 30, bro.
Yeah. I think I'm also going to take the Saints here. Next game, the other two teams in our division, Kansas City and Oakland.
Oakland. I like Oakland. I said that publicly, which I shouldn't have said that. But I really fucking like Oakland.
I can never say that because I'll never be allowed back on the Denver Broncos subreddit.
I just can't say it. I can't say I don't like them, man. They have a young stud quarterback. They have a young stud wide receiver. To me, if I was going to build a team,
Crabtree's outshining
it.
Cooper this year. I got a guy
yeah.
on my fantasy team who, because of injuries, is playing both Cooper and Crabtree, and he's winning.
Oh,
he's winning.
Cooper had his first fucking touchdown last week.
Right.
But Crabtree's killing
Had
it.
a 3-touchdown game.
But, dude, and then fucking, if I had to build a team around a player right now, age definitely coming into play, Khalil Mack might be my guy.
But their defense hasn't shown up the way it's supposed to. Khalil Mack's been unseen.
Khalil Mack's still been Khalil Mack.
I'll tell you this. I think this is the day that the Raiders defense shows up, especially against the type of offense that Kansas City puts on the field.
And they did lose Charles Woodson.
Right. So I'm going to take the Raiders as well in Oakland. Next up is Cowboys-Packers.
Cowboys
for me too. Sorry, Justin. Sorry, Sam. You had 2 interceptions last week from Rodgers. One of them was a tipped ball. He hasn't looked the same. Eddie Lacy might not play this week because of an ankle injury. And Dak Prescott is playing no turnover football, which right now
and he's starting to get
huge...
comfortable, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
He's starting to hit those big plays, man. And Ezekiel is just fucking tearing it off.
We're hitting our time limit here, so we need to speed up. But I will just put this topic in here that I am against the grain here. It seems, but I think they need to put Tony Romo back in when he comes back. Dak has done great. Don't get me wrong, but they just paid him a shit ton of guaranteed money. He's a great quarterback when he's in the game. With the running game that he has, it's going to be another season like when they had DeMarco Murray. They still got the offensive line to protect him. Put him in there. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. Dak comes back. He's got a long NFL career ahead of him. There's no reason not to put a star quarterback back in there and see where it goes.
I'm a big fan of Romo. I don't hate that. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Falcons, Seahawks.
Seahawks?
If I told you who was playing at home, would that change your mind?
No.
So you think Seahawks no matter what?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a great game, actually.
Okay. Well, it's in Seattle. It will be close.
Atlanta's looked good.
This is another toss-up for me, but oof, man. I think I'm going to go Seattle. Because beating them at home is super hard, no matter how good you are.
It doesn't matter.
Right. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I don't think Matt Ryan and Julio Jones is going to have another 500, 300 game.
Damn it, Julio, just making fantasy dreams come true.
Yeah, luckily he's been quiet ever since then. He had less than 2 points versus the Broncos, non-PPR. That was awesome. Colts, Texans.
Texans. I don't like the Colts.
In Houston, I'll take that. I'll take Houston. I don't like what the Colts have been doing. Like you said, they let Andrew Luck get hit. So actually, you know what? No, I'm totally gonna change my mind in the middle of this monologue here. The Colts are doing what the opposite of what the Chargers are doing, and they are keeping it just. They're keeping it just close enough.
Who just won the Dodgers game?
Oh shit!
I bet you that's what that was. Doo-doo-doo. That's the sound. What?
No way. Clayton Kershaw retired the final two batters for the save as the Dodgers beat the Nationals 4-3 in Game 5. Dodgers play the Cubs in the NLCS.
That's a motherfucking series, folks.
That is fucking awesome.
That's a motherfucking series.
That was great. And Jock Peterson had a big home run in tying that game up.
Huge home run.
Yep. And I think
Threw his bat into the fucking stands.
Yeah, Max Scherzer pitched this game. He did great in the 7th inning until he hit that 3rd run. I think he probably gave up the 4th run as well. I'm not sure. We'll get back around to that.
Back and forth.
We'll get back around to that in the
we'll get
MLB
into
segment. But I'm going to change and say the Colts. They do just enough to stay in. Frank Gore gets the touches. They do the work. I don't like how much Andrew Luck gets hit, but Brock Osweiler has looked like dick since he's been over there. He's not hitting Hopkins.
No, he's hitting Fuller.
Lamar Miller is getting tons of touches and no red zone touches because they can't get there. I'm going to say even if it stays close, even if it's within 8 points in the 4th quarter, the Colts are going to come back and win that game.
I disagree.
Well, you saw firsthand what T.Y. Hilton does in the 4th quarter, so.
Fuck you.
Okay, moving on. Last game, Monday night, Jets-Cardinals.
Cards.
Me too.
Cards.
Cards at home. Carson Palmer's back. Jets look like dick. Their defense is okay, but I mean Fitzpatrick has thrown a ton of interceptions, like seven or 8 combined over 2 games. You just hope that Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Mathieu do their job.
I think they got the big win they needed last week, and on Thursday night, and I think that's just gonna keep them rolling. They got their confidence up. I think they were down. I think they came in the season super we're just gonna come out and destroy people. Got off to a bad start, and they got that win, and I think they're gonna rattle off 5 or 6.
Dude, I mean, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if this was the game that the Cardinals beat somebody 45-14.
Oh, 100, yeah.
Because it looks like Revis may come back for this game, but it doesn't even matter. He's looked like crap.
And they have so many fucking weapons.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Tomo, what's our next subject for the night?
We're doing MLB now.
MLB. Perfect segue. So, in that game, let me just pull up the box score real quick for everybody so we can get some up-to-date in time information. Kershaw, again, final 2 outs for the save against the Nationals. This is amazing. The Dodgers never quite seem to be in this position because the Giants are always such a hassle for them. They're finally doing it with a ton of injuries, some new kids, young kids, and I love to see that. I really do. The Nationals seem to always get pretty close, but just never quite get there.
Hey, they made it to the playoffs this year, though. That's good.
I know. So Scherzer gave up 0 runs through 6 innings, and then in the 7th, the Dodgers scored 4 runs. And Scherzer only gave up 1 earned run. 1 earned run, and then looks like 3 relievers combined for the other 3. So that's a bummer. That's a bummer way to end for the Nationals after.
You gotta feel bad for them.
After your ace putting in that much work. But that is what it is. The Dodgers are going to play the Cubs, in which I got the Cubs. I got the Cubs. You do too. I know you love Addy.
I love their whole squad.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Chris
Joe
Bryant
Madden's
should be an Astro. We picked Mark Appel, and that was a fucking blowjob. But
Madden's probably my favorite coach in the league.
Absolutely.
I love the guy.
Absolutely.
Perfect coach for that team too.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of young studs.
The ALCS looks pretty good too. The Cleveland Indians versus the Blue Jays.
I got Blue Jays on that.
Me too. And what it boils down to for me is Blue Jays have fastball throwers and the Indians are off-speed pitch hitters, and I think that's really going to be a big deal when it comes down to it. Plus Joey Bats, Tulo, Encarnacion.
That offense is just scary. And all those dudes play D like monsters, too. Yeah, I think that's a tough matchup for the Indians. Good for them for being in this position, for sure.
Right.
That's awesome, but
And
give it a couple years, man.
Praise to Cleveland. You know what I mean? Getting
Yeah,
there, and winning the NBA title, and then getting this far. And one of the coolest stories of the season was after the Cavaliers won the NBA title, they won like 13 straight games in the MLB, which I thought was a really cool coincidence.
And they had young Stipe, who won the first title for Cleveland, the heavyweight title belt, and he was on the parade. He was on the float with them for their NBA celebration.
I'm not following you here. I didn't hear this story.
He's the heavyweight champion of the world for the UFC, and he's a Cleveland guy.
I got a lot of work to do on the UFC. I don't know. I don't know what
Cleveland
you're talking
dude.
about.
He's a full-time firefighter. Of course, he's from Cleveland. And he won the belt like 2 weeks before Cleveland won theirs.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
And LeBron tweeted out like, "Hey, bro, thank you for bringing our first title to Cleveland." And then they had him on the parade boat with them, which I thought was super cool because he embodies Cleveland. Like, this dude's a monster in the ring, but that's not his full-time job. His full-time job is he's a firefighter. So, Stipe,
Another
good shit, brother.
another great story. Tony Francona actually talked about following the parade when it came to town.
I love Tony Francona.
He is such a good, and his dad played for Cleveland, so bringing him back to be the manager was just huge.
You just look at him and you're like, I would love to play baseball for that dude. If I was good enough to play baseball.
Man, I should have never stopped playing.
Yeah, you'd been in the pros right now, bro, for sure.
Nah, I don't know.
Pipe dreams.
Right? More like bottle dreams.
So next.
So
that's baseball, I
right,
think.
Well, let me give the people the dates on the upcoming matchups for the ALCS and the NLCS.
They just released them.
Looks like the Dodgers are going to play the Cubs on. So far as I can see, right here in front of me, the NLCS is not scheduled yet, but Toronto and Cleveland are playing their first game on Friday the 14th, tomorrow, at 5 p.m. on TBS, and that's Marco Estrada versus Corey Kluber. Ooh, I might have the Indians in that one. First matchup. Kluber's a boss. Estrada's been a boss too, but we'll see. That's just where I'm feeling. And then they have their second game on Saturday as well. This one's going to be an early game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, also on TBS. And that's J.A. Happ versus Trevor Bauer. Another good matchup, but J.A. Happ has been on fire this year. Former Astro. Yeah. So that's going to be it for us in the first half. We're going to take a break, come back in the second half. New beer, new topics. Thanks for listening.
Please. We're back.
Part 2, episode 2, part 2.
It.
All right, our second craft beer of the night is going to be Belgian Strong Pale Ale by Goose Island Beer Company. It seems that they've done a collab with Deschutes out of Oregon, and it is one of the craziest beers that I've ever had.
I love it. I've never tried it before, and it's unlike really anything I've ever tasted.
Yeah, it's...
It's almost like a sour, but not sour.
You know what that is? It's the wine. It's the wine ancestry to this beer. So right off the label, Michigan Riesling and Oregon Pinot Noir grapes are aged with whole flower, Mount Hood hops, and Pilsner malt. It's really something else because when you first get it, It's just like, and I'm not a wine fan, so don't shit on me, folks.
Me neither.
But I mean, it's bitter. It's got taste to it. Don't ask me to tell you if it tastes like wood or fruit.
It's smooth.
Or
I
whatever.
can see myself getting shit face off this.
Yeah, it really has that wine front, and then on the back, it's like, oh, beer. You know what I mean? It doesn't just have that bitter, flat taste that
it's nice.
wine has. At the end, it's got
10.9. Is that what it's on there?
11.2.
Love it.
Yeah. So, class of '88 Belgian style ale from Deschutes and Goose Island. It is pretty freaking cool. It looks like it's another 25 years celebration. We do tend to pick the. Well, you know what? You're right. 10.9. Sorry. We do tend to pick these specialties because, I mean, how often do you get to have them? You know.
We
But
want to share
it's-
them with you guys.
Yeah,
You know?
it's amazing. I mean, truly, if you kind of like beer but you really like wine,
Oh, get this for your chick.
please.
Get
yeah,
if your
absolutely,
if your
dudes. Mm-hmm.
girl's like, I hate beer. Get this for your girl. Give her one bomber. You're getting anal. And you might just have to spit on your dick. You probably never use lube.
Right now, brown bottle. It comes with a black.
Carl's
wax
getting a little
seal.
red over there.
Dude, it's hot in this fucking room. Don't flatter yourself. I've seen your butthole.
Ooh.
Okay, so craft beer number 2 out of the way. Tomo, what's our first topic of the second half? NHL. Oh my God. Are we excited that ice hockey is back or
The
what?
best sport in the fucking world is back.
Well, pump those brakes.
Best sport in the world is back.
Uh,
So fucking excited.
just to get a little bit of redemption here, I do have to mention Kings 0-1, Stars 1-0.
Good for you.
Who cares about the first game? I'm just having fun.
Long season.
The real problem is you lost to the Sharks
And we lost Jonathan Quick.
And you lost Jonathan Quick.
Saw a bunch of hilarious memes on that shit.
Do you have any timetable on his?
They don't
on
know
how
yet.
long?
He's
They don't
game to
know.
game right now. It could be super not serious, or it could be really.
And who's your
serious.
backup after San Jose took your superstar backup?
Dude, he's a new guy. I'm not even gonna try and fuck with you.
Okay.
I was reading about him today. Some fucking crazy Russian name. I've never heard of him before.
Right. That's literally been the biggest part of my struggle to watch hockey is memorizing those names like I memorized Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. Wow. So excited hockey's back.
Anze Kopitar, like, what the fuck?
Penguins beat the Capitals 3-2 with Crosby out with what looks like a minor concussion. He's been practicing and skating and stuff like that, so it doesn't look like his major issue that kept him out for a long period of time in previous seasons.
It's the beginning of the season. You want to keep him
Absolutely.
nice.
Yeah. I mean, in 10 games if you have to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
One of the biggest stories of opening night was Austin Matthews for
Monster.
the Maple Leafs, right?
Do we have a fact check on that?
Yeah, I've got it right here. Sorry, I was surprised. I was surprised because the Maple Leafs lost this game 4-5 in overtime, but Matthews scored all 4 of their goals.
First time ever, right? By Rook?
First time ever that a rookie in his first NHL game scored 4. There's been a handful of others who scored a hat trick. He scored 4. And
That's
like
impressive.
the headlines say, he made it look easy. I went over
That's
these highlights
impressive.
and stuff like that. It is cool.
Whether you want to say a flash, whatever it may be, and yes, how old is the kid? That's the big difference to me with hockey too. Is some of these kids are like, it's like basketball, you know, they're 18, 19 years old, starting as rookies.
It's super surprising. Obviously, it's never been done before. But when you look around the league at the young talent that is
Which Coyotes,
everywhere,
woo!
yeah, Coyotes with
Max
what's-
Domi and Duclair and Domingos in the net.
Right. Which fucking it's about time a Phoenix City starts showing fruit from their draft picks because
Yeah.
the Suns don't do that shit. But
I like them. I like the Coyotes. If I had to choose one Arizona team, it would be the Coyotes. They're my
Oh,
second.
you know what? I'm going to put somebody on blast real quick just because I was thinking about it. Anthony Rucco still owes me $50 for the Stars scoring more total points than
Pay
the
up,
Coyotes
bitch.
last year. Yeah, you bringing it up reminded me. One of the other, Connor McDavid, obviously, that's one of the huge surprises right now because he is one of the youngest captains ever in the NHL.
Deserves it.
First year, second year player as a captain. And he netted
That
two,
whole squad is young and disgusting.
and they beat Calgary 7-4.
They could be. Every year I've thought like they're gonna be dirty. Like eventually with that
Right.
many studs. Because the thing is, they haven't missed on any of their studs. Like Nugent and all these fools, like they never missed on a player. They got the right guy that came out and produced. They just haven't been able to put together as a team. So
Yep. 2 goals in the second period for Connor McDavid. So that was pretty cool, and an assist.
good game, great game.
Yep. Do you have any pick'ems? Any surprises for the East and the West?
I think that the Coyotes will be really competitive. I think that they're two young
Right,
stars.
coming from the middle of the standings up towards more competitive play.
Well, they
this year.
started falling towards the bottom of the standings.
Right.
They started off 4-0 last year, and they really fell off. They were playing really well when they had Duclair and Domi on the same line on that first line together. They both were leading like all rookies in basically every statistic. And then but none of their other lines were doing shit. So because those kids have played together since they were like 15. So they have incredible chemistry out there on the ice. But they split them up. They struggled a little bit. They haven't figured out the NHL game completely yet. That you see those guys every time they try to go around you, and if they don't go around you, they don't know what to do after that. Mm-hmm. And so they either beat you and they have a breakaway chance, or a good scoring opportunity, or they get stopped because this is the NHL, bro. You're not just better than everyone ever. Anymore,
Right,
and
it's
you're
going
not
to
as
take the
fast.
third and the fourth move and that extra pass.
And you gotta
right?
set
It's
it
not
up.
just two moves.
You
in.
can't just rush it and just beat everyone 1-on-1 anymore.
Right. The toughest thing is when you look around the divisions, there's really still powerhouses everywhere. I mean, in the Central, you obviously have St. Louis, Dallas, Colorado, who 2 years ago were super hot. Nashville, Chicago. I mean, everywhere, literally everywhere in the
There's a
Central
lot-
Division. That's tough.
There's just a lot of good teams in the NHL nowadays.
And then in the Pacific, you have Arizona, Los Angeles Kings, the Anaheim Ducks.
Ducks
You have
scare me.
Calgary. Yeah, Ducks are always scary.
They're
but-
just so big and fast and physical. Like they really don't have a weakness. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they scare me. It's like they're that team that's like, hey, how do
But
you want to play?
but
You
they might
wanna
not
play
be-
finesse.
but
we'll
they-
play finesse. Yeah, you want to play dirty?
they might not be good enough in any one area to really, meh, you know,
Yeah,
getting a little smashed spaghetti over here.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Oh, let's see. So no big surprises. You think usual suspects, but look out for the
It's too
Coyotes.
for me. It's too early to like really even say anything right now
Yeah.
because hockey's just not that sport.
Right.
It's not that sport where it's like, oh, you guys got Kevin Durant or who?
Right. The only thing you really have to go on right now is the World Cup of hockey because
Yeah.
they don't really put a
which
huge
Andre
spotlight on training
Kopitar
camp.
looked like a motherfucking monster.
Right. Well, I guess that's our few main things to watch for hockey. We have young stars everywhere in hockey.
Hockey's getting young again.
Hockey's getting young again and not displaced trust in this young talent. It is true, already blossoming day one. And I guess you could call that overreaction Thursday if you want, but
like
they are looking really good.
Yep.
And so we're gonna move on with that after just day
What's our
one of
next
the
topic,
NHL.
Tomo?
The UFC.
Ooh, this is where I get to take a back seat and just listen to Aaron rant because I have not typically been a huge fan of the UFC, but that's going to
I'm
change.
trying to change his life. So
start with your
Dan Henderson,
Thank you.
Michael Bisping, dudes over. Dan Hendo's 42 and Michael Bisping at 37. just putting in an absolute war. It was funny. I watched it with my parents, and my parents like sports. They watch sports, but they don't know a whole lot,
Right.
And they bought the
They're
fights.
not
at the
psychos like us.
No. But, they love sports. And we watched the fight, and they really wanted Dan Henderson to win. Dan Henderson, basically the entire fight, he didn't throw shit. He just saved that H-bomb, that huge right hand, and threw it twice and connected twice with Bisping's face. Like, Bisping is on a 6-month leave for the damage he took. He ended up winning the fight, but my parents the whole time were like,
Bisping won, correct?
Bisping won. But
round?
Dan Hendo did a lot of damage.
What round?
It went to a decision, 5-round decision.
Decision.
It was a
After
title
5
fight.
rounds. Holy shit. You never see that anymore.
It's rare, especially, dude, Bisping showed so much heart. Dude got knocked the fuck out in the first round. And my parents like, this fight's over, it's over. I'm like, no, this is what's so beautiful about the UFC, and especially two dudes like this. They're going to have a war. And Bisping would just pick dude apart the whole round, and then Dan Hendo at 42 would just drop a haymaker in the last 30 seconds and do work. Mm-hmm. So people say it's controversial that Bisping won. I thought it was an obvious one for Bisping. People, it doesn't matter what your face looks like in the fight. These dudes have scar tissue on their face.
That's a
Nate
good point.
Diaz looks like a bloody fucking mess every time he fights.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of time he wins. It's just they cut differently than we do.
Right.
Because they have so much scar tissue. So it's just a different thing. Hats off to Michael Bisping. He was awesome in his win and threw a lot of props to Dan Hendo. Dan Hendo did
Everybody loves Hendo.
Hendo retired at the end of that fight.
Yeah.
Like he said he was going to do no matter what. Hats off to Hendo. Thank you for everything you've done for the sport. You're amazing. You're a class act, and you're an American treasure in my eyes. And then real quick to go into the big news.
No. Real quick. Was there anything to talk about in the undercards?
Nothing that really caught my eyes.
You don't see any huge challengers stepping up or somebody that's getting their next shot pretty soon? People to look out for?
Cody Garbrandt, young No Love, straight dime piece, just a murderer. I think he's going to fight Dominic Cruz for his belt. That's going to happen soon.
And what weight class is that?
They're 135ers.
Okay.
Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, who's pound for pound probably the greatest in the world, is going to fight the winner of the Ultimate Fighter, which I think UFC, that was one of the most brilliant things you guys have ever done. So this dude, Mighty Mouse, is probably the best in the sport, but he doesn't have anyone in his weight class. He fights like 125, and there's just like he just mops people up. And so they said, okay, well, we're going to go out there and we're going to make this entire Ultimate Fighter. We're going to go look for all the talent in the world and only choose champions of other MMA
fighters,
not UFC, but other champions.
Right.
And we're going to put the best in the world together, and whoever wins at the end is going to get a title shot against. So basically, like, hey, we're going to build the division around you because no one's fucking with you right now.
Right.
And it's no one knows who Demetrius Thomas. No one knows who he is, and he's the greatest fighter in the world. And so they're like, we're gonna go. So great job by the UFC on that.
So you want to roll into the big news now?
Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes. Ronda's back. Mm-hmm. Super excited about that.
The tail of the tape adds up really well. They're both very similar in height. They're about an inch off in height, and they're about an inch off in reach. Which makes for a good fight.
It's going to be fun because Amanda Nunes is a striker, and she's strong. And then Ronda Rousey's Ronda Rousey. She's going to put you in an armbar and fucking just hurt you. And for me, this fight doesn't really mean shit. To me, it's what this fight sets up, and I think the UFC did. It's a huge gamble. Everyone wants Ronda Rousey to fight Chris Cyborg, which Chris Cyborg's a fucking man. No one wants to fight.
Careful with that.
She should be fight. I'm not saying she's a man in this political.
She is
she
so
should be
talented.
Dudes.
Okay,
you
wouldn't have said that about
fair.
Ronda when she was
No.
Ronda when she was 12-0.
No, it's different. It's different when you Ronda is bigger than these girls, and then her jiu-jitsu is incredible and her wrestling's great. Her striking's good. But like this chick, when she punches and she kicks, you feel bad for this chick.
But she won like 12. She won like 10 of her 12 fights in the first round.
I know, and most of those were by submission, my friend. I'm just saying. So when this chick, Chris Cyborg, hits a girl, you get the same feeling as if you saw your dad hit your mom.
Daddy hit mommy at the dinner table.
You get this. You look at it and you're like, this is just not fucking.
Bring it back to the Nunez fight though. What people are looking forward to? What you're saying it Rousey's. I mean,
well, what this fight
people
is
were
saying
saying versus Holly Holmes like it was nothing. Like it was another Ronda Rousey route.
Well,
is that how you feel about the Nunez fight? Even though she's
Holmes
won quite a few in a row.
Holmes is a counterpuncher, where she had the perfect game plan and comes out of one of the best gyms in the world in Jackson in New Mexico and is an absolute animal. And Nunez is really good. I like her a lot. Don't get me wrong, but everyone's looking past this fight because if she's able to win this fight, if she wins this fight, Ronda, she faces Chris Cyborg, and that's what everyone wants to see. That is the only fight that can stand up to anything. If you put Conor McGregor against, it doesn't even matter who you put him against, and put Ronda and Chris Cyborg on the same card.
Is that what they're building up to? The mega ticket?
That's what they want.
Mm-hmm. A double headliner? You don't think they'll split it up to get 2 major tickets? I mean, it's all about sales at the end of the day. Well, it's already scheduled. So Ronda's already scheduled for like
207.
Mid-December.
Conor McGregor's fighting 205, the first ticket in New York, which is great.
So he could take a break in 206 and come back 207.
He could, depending on how quick he puts away Eddie Alvarez, which Eddie Alvarez is an animal. So dusted Rafael dos Anjos within the first round. So we don't know what's going to happen from there. Mm-hmm. But 205, damn, they put the best card in UFC history of all time. 3 titles on the line.
Nice.
Joanna has her title, that's my baby girl. Look her up. She's an animal. She's so sick. Incredible striker. We got Tyrone Woodley versus the goddamn Karate Kid. Wonder Boy versus Tyrone Woodley. And then we have Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez. It's going to be a great card. Everyone tune in for that. That's going to be the end of Fight Talk. And we are moving on to, I believe, NBA time.
Yep. Well, that was some great insight. Thank you, by the way. Aaron really carries the segment here for UFC. So we're a little short on it. We're a little short on time. We're gonna move straight into the NBA. There's really not much new about the NBA as of right now. Still preseason, still warming up. We're really close, less than 2 weeks away from tip off. One of the best times to be alive and watch sports. You got
just jizz season.
Yeah, World Series, NHL, NBA. You got December, November NFL. Oh, it's just fantastic. But as far as the NBA goes, there's really just a couple of headlines that we may want to chat about. Pretty interesting, but Kevin Durant made some comments about
how freely.
Yeah, I mean, just the same old comments that are coming out. And Kevin Durant's getting asked 1 million questions by the media, and he's answering them because he's doing what he's supposed to do. And then, of course, reporters just go straight back. It all is the media.
They're trying to pin them against each other.
Right. So he talks about how free-flowing the basketball there, which immediately means that OKC just didn't have something.
Which in secretly he's saying "fuck you, Westbrook," that's not what he's saying at all.
Yeah, that's not what he's saying. That's just what they're trying to make it out.
No,
to
that's
seem
your
like.
new team, man. I'm sorry, hey, dude, you don't. When you're with your wife, when you get a divorce and you marry someone else,
you don't talk about your first wife.
Yeah, my new wife is so beautiful. And you're not saying your old wife was ugly.
Yeah.
You're just saying.
And thank you. Those are the kinds of fresh takes that we look to give you guys here when we're talking in this show, because they don't fucking say that in the mainstream media, because they're trying to pit these two against each other because it makes more stories. But all they're doing is making something out of nothing. Westbrook has a duty, literally, if you didn't know this in the NBA, in all major sports, you are required to talk to media. So you are required to answer their questions. And you try to be nice about your new team, and they turn it around and make it sound like it's something bad against your old team. And then Westbrook sits there and gets fed lines about what Kevin Durant said, and how does that make you feel?
He's like,
you know
I'm
what he
just done
said?
talking about it.
He said, "Cute. I'm done talking about it. Leave these guys alone. Leave them alone." It's just fucking irritating at this point. We all know the decision Kevin Durant made. It's not the first time it's been made. It's kind of awesome and it's kind of shitty all at the same time to have such a talented team like Golden State. We talked about this last week. I'm a very excited Rockets fan. It still, as a fan, feels like it's all for naught because of everything that they have.
But
they
hey,
literally
good
have
for
riches to spare.
But and you know what? They did it. They earned it. They did it. It's not like
Right, that itty-bitty
to-
team in Golden
to
State.
me, it's not Miami where LeBron went there and then chose Bosh and this and that. No, Golden State built their team and made that place a destination. They did it the right way. They shouldn't be hated on for it. And congratulations. I'm not going to hate on you for that. My team, you have the same. I'm a Lakers fan, so I even have less of an excuse not to have the team that you have. And you did it the right way. You have a great front office. Good job. You didn't buy a team. You had a guy come over because he wanted to play there because of the way you guys play basketball and the way that you guys give a shit about each other.
There's a ton of stories still splitting off this goddamn main story of KD and Westbrook and OKC and Golden State. And Paul Pierce said something that pissed somebody off. Let's see. I could have left Boston years ago, but I stuck it out. I just feel like when you're that close as a competitor, you don't go join a team that pushed you out. That just me. Hold on. That's just me personally, but we're living in a day and a time where that's the new generation. Guys, I don't think they are as hungry or competitive as my generation was, and that's why you'll probably see more of that. Hold on. Draymond Green's sick and fucking tired of it too.
You invented the big three, you fuck. I'm sorry.
Right, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were the first fuckers to go out there and do that.
I just wonder at what point they get bored talking about the same thing. You got all these guys like Paul Pierce today. Like, dude, nobody cares what you did or who you did it for. Just give it a break. Everybody got something to say and want to take everything he says and twist it. Like he plays with the Warriors. OKC has their team and we have our team. Leave it there. Which is a great point. And the problem is 24-hour news networks and people who have so many jobs tied up in the media and with each individual team, and they have to have material to bring to the table in order to make it to print so that they meet their deadlines. They can fill a fucking newspaper. They can fill up an online website with tons of links. And it's just irritating. I'm over it. I like sports enough to find my own damn news.
But Paul Pierce doesn't have to do that. And for Paul Pierce,
he does it.
And I love Paul. I'm a huge
truth
fan.
Yeah,
huge truth fan. But hey, buddy, was Garnett drafted by the Celtics?
Right.
Was Ray Allen drafted by the Celtics? No, you brought this team in, man. And was Klay Thompson drafted by the Warriors? Yes, he was. Was Stephen Curry drafted by the Warriors? Yes, he was. Was Draymond Green drafted by the Warriors? Yes, he was. Come on, man.
Right.
And
you know what? Something that's not talked about enough. I love what Kevin Durant said about the style of basketball that he plays and how much he loves it. That is something that's so underrated in this conversation. They were a very free-flowing, two major components and let's score the fucking ball. You know what I mean? Golden State is, and I think we might have touched on this last week, but Golden State is surgical. They play beautiful basketball, and anybody who watches goes, holy shit, that's the way the basketball is supposed to be played. And if you're at the top of your craft, maybe you want that. Maybe you want to play in the system where you play perfect basketball.
And let's not fucking forget who has been one of the media's top dudes to just destroy year after year, Russell Westbrook, who forever, year after year, has had that fucking guy's back, Kevin Durant. Always. Never said a bad. Everyone's like, well, Durant, you're the best player on the team. You should always take the last shot. Blah, blah, blah. Russell Westbrook shoots too much. He turns the ball over too much. All this shit. Kevin Durant always stuck by that dude's side 110% and always had his back. So...
Yeah, just to chime in here, the exact comments were Durant said something about the Warriors having selfless players. And they turned that around and made it sound like Russell Westbrook isn't selfless. Which, yeah, he needs the ball to score a lot, but that's because they're on the court with a bunch of role players in him and Durant.
Dude, and then another thing we have to realize about Durant is like a nice dude for sure, but like he says what he means. If he wanted to talk shit about Westbrook, he would. He would. Because he's gotten in trouble before because he's been outspoken about certain things. And he would say, man, you know, Westbrook didn't do this. That. No, he's not saying anything about Westbrook. And he's always had Westbrook's back. Those are boys. Like, I will always have the image of them ingrained in my mind, losing, you know, the finals and shit, sitting on that stage, like, well, just not talking at all.
Yeah.
So how do you think? Yeah, whatever. Like, it's just like those two.
Real quick.
Brothers. And they'll play together again. Shut the fuck up. They'll play together again. Come on.
You think this is just a pit stop before they join the Lakers? Lakers
I don't fucking want them.
All right. Anyways, we're gonna move on. We're out of time for that specific stupid fucking conversation created by the media. One really new cool thing is they're in conversations for a new CBA. And
50-50.
Yeah, it seems like it's going pretty well. They're going to split the NBA profits 50-50.
Give me that 50-50
But expansion is rumored in the new CBA.
Fuck you. Where?
No?
Where?
Well,
Vegas?
I think Seattle needs a team again. I think they would really appreciate it.
I just hate the supplemental fucking draft. I think it's bullshit.
Well, you should be out of the draft anymore. Like, don't worry about the lotteries and shit like that. But it's like... Seattle needs a team.
No, the supplemental
that was
where do they get those players from?
You know what? Hold
I
on.
don't like that.
I love the fact that Seattle moved to OKC, not because Seattle lost their team and OKC gained a team and whatever, but OKC has done really well as a small market team with a squad. And I want to see more of that because I hate 4 teams in California. I can't stand it.
I agree.
So bringing a team back to Seattle, keeping OKC in it, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of shit I want to see.
And those
in
young
football,
players
can you
as
tell
well.
me that Oklahoma wouldn't appreciate a fucking team? They're talking about bringing a team to San Antonio, like the Raiders were possibly going to move there, and having Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. No. Give Oklahoma a team because you can see from the Sooners and you can see from the Thunder. They love their sports.
And you know what? Like, those young kids on OKC loved it there, man. And, like, who the fuck... I will never live in OKC. But, like, those kids, like, got so much love, man. They really loved it there. And it was hard for anyone to leave there. James didn't want to leave. You know, Durant didn't want to leave. Not because of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I give those small market. I mean, they love it there. You look at Utah. It's always the small places,
right.
man. They don't have a lot going on, man. So they got their teams and they fucking are loyal and they love it.
I mean, shit. Last one real quick, but Kentucky, home of Louisville Slugger. Are you going to tell me that Kentucky wouldn't love a baseball team and go see it? They have like 2 minor league teams there. Are you telling me they couldn't do for their stadium what the fucking Tampa Bay Rays do for their stadium when they're in a pennant race, for crying out loud? Give me a break.
I agree with you. 110%.
Tomo, was that our last subject?
That was our last.
Did we hit all of our main food groups?
Every single one. We finished the food chart.
We finished it.
All right.
For dessert, dude, we should go
Aaron
watch
finished 3 times during this podcast. Just saying.
In Tomo's mouth. But no, dude, we should go catch Tim Tebow, man. He's playing football right now.
Scottsdale Scorpions, shout out. If you like seeing football players play baseball, Tim Tebow is playing for the Scottsdale Scorpions in the Arizona Fall League right now.
Tickets are like $5. If you get there
much as a hot dog.
If you get there before the game, they actually have a happy hour where all drinks are half off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cheap, fun day of baseball.
Who did we go see when
We went
we
to
were friends with
saw-
Addison Russell
We went and
and
saw D-Rob with
with the Oakland A's organization?
the A's, and they were playing with the Cubs.
Yep.
They're playing against. No, we had a couple.
Dope.
Buddies
There was a
on the
catcher
Cubs.
guy too who was
We had a couple buddies
I don't
playing,
remember
and
what
it
his
was
name
it was a fucking blast. Shout out to D-Rob, man.
yeah.
Treated us super well. Thank you for the
Do
tickets.
well, bro. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. If you want to catch a game with us, we'd love to see the Arizona Fall League and all the promising players, along with people who are there to just sell jerseys.
It's
We
and
don't care.
just to let you know, Addison Russell, who's going for a fucking world title right now, was in the Fall League 2 years ago?
2 years.
2 years
Yep.
ago.
2
So
years
go
ago,
watch these
he
kids,
was
man.
traded from the A's organization to the Cubs organization, and he's doing his thing now.
Go watch it. It's fucking awesome,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really intimate and it's great. So
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for listening. We appreciate it. This is only episode 2. Can you believe it? This chemistry is like episode 200 right now.
oh baby boy,
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. If you have any comments, questions, things that you want to talk about, if you want to call in, just let us know and we'll take you on air during our recording session. Our email is thebenchedpress@gmail.com. You can contact me or Aaron personally on our cell phones. And thank you very much for stopping by. Have a good one.
see you later, guys.